We now have a tornado warning here live on the air. Tornado warning for portions of Morton and Oliver County. And again, we can make out that circulation. I'm going to go back, so bear with the clunkiness here. But again, we're going to keep an eye on this here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to step off screen just for a minute as you see this. I'm going to turn the radar. Actually, I'll leave that up here, and I'm going to go to our camera here and see if I can, yeah, actually, Jacob, you want to try to control that from over there. We're going to try to zoom in on this wall cloud and the rotation here. So as he's getting that going here, we're going to try to do that and see if we can see anything live on the air. And again, from this vantage point, we can't necessarily see a tornado. That lowering is not a tornado per se, but this could be the area of concern here. Again, this is a pretty good inflow and some rotation going on. We've got that zoomed in. Quite an ominous looking cloud, that is for sure. And we're going to keep a close eye on that. We're going through all the reports here right now, and a lot coming across the line here. But let me just say, as you look at this here, again, that tornado warning for north central Morton County and for southwestern Oliver County until 8:15 Central Daylight Time. At 7:38, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 5 miles southwest of Hanover, or 18 miles southeast of Beulah, moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. So let me put a motion on this, and you can kind of make out the red polygon there where we have the warning. And I want those of you in the Bismarck-Mandan area to know this storm could continue turning east and then southeast toward the metro. It is a possibility over the next hour, so remain weather aware. It's critical to know that this storm is beginning to show some signs now of diving a little bit toward the right or toward the southeast, and that would indicate a potential in the Bismarck-Mandan area over the next hour. But for the moment, again, it's about that tornado warning here until 8:15 Central Daylight Time for portions here of Morton and Oliver County. I'm going to go back and turn the velocity on and see how that looks. Again, you can really it's kind of hard to kind of make out, but a little bit of that green and the reds where the green is toward the radar, which is in Bismarck, and away is the red. So again, you can see a lot of red because of the southeast surface winds kind of feeding into that storm here. Kind of hard to make out exactly where the tornado warning is. So I'm going to go back to the other radar here real quick. I'll go to single site and a much better perspective here. And again, you can really make it out. If you're in the center area, make sure that you are going to stay weather aware and, of course, get to your safe place as you technically are on the line of that tornado warning, which also goes to the Sweetbriar Lake area of Morton County. And, of course, Sweetbriar Lake was hit last week, 1 week ago tonight, with a tornado. So don't know if that's going to happen again. Let's hope not. But, again, we're starting to see a little bit of a sign here. Not necessarily a hook at the moment, but it's becoming more evident on radar here with this single scan here that we might be eventually making out some rotation on this more evident here with a couple of these newer scans. Right dead center of your screen. Unfortunately, from Bismarck, you got the hill toward Mandan. You can right there, I think we're probably losing it, but it does appear that we just witnessed a tornado here about 2 minutes ago, moving toward the right or toward perhaps the north, but still a lot of circulation. So what I want to do, we'll come back to this in a minute. I want to just kind of show you what's going on here with the circulation. And again, we do have a tornado warning for Morton and Oliver County. I'm going to turn single site radar on, and we'll go from there here. And again, we can even see perhaps a little bit of a hook. I think that was quite obvious that we saw a tornado there. Not 100% confirmed. We're awaiting some reports on that. But I'm going to turn velocity on. And again, there is a pretty good velocity couplet here.
This is the view from our BSC Skywatch camera live. Not seeing a tornado on the ground right now, but we can see still that lowering, the very tall clouds that are likely rotating up here. And that is kind of the winds rotating aloft, sculpting those supercell thunderstorm clouds.
Pretty good shear environments here, and again, tapping into a really moisture-rich environment with these thunderstorms here. And that's what has me most concerned, as you, Jacob. The whole line of storms here. So Minot out of the woods, Dickinson, no threat for severe weather, and certainly not in Williston, but we can really make out where the show is going to be here from east of Minot, south of Minot, along US 83. But for the Bismarck, Mandan Metro. We don't have a warning right now. That is subject to change here because of this thunderstorm. And again, we can still make out a little bit
defined hook there.
A defined hook here on the radar, not velocity here, but just the actual radar single site scan here from the Bismarck radar. That big white dome you see when you go to the Bismarck Airport nearby there. So still some circulation. In fact, let me turn on the velocity, and it's pretty evident. You can have almost inclusive there, but I mean, the thing is, we don't know because we can't really make it out. I mean, is it rain wrap? This is kind of a lower precipitation supercell right now, not necessarily producing a lot of high precipitation, but again, a really good indication here, at least with circulation there, mostly over rural areas, which is obviously critical here for the time being. If this were to continue holding together, and again, as it tracks in still a very moisture-rich environment, a lot of instability, a lot of surface-based cape, in other words, a lot of atmospheric instability present here as these storms will be going into that untapped air source here, coming in toward the Bismarck-Mandan area.
Now this is moving slowly, 20 miles an hour.
Very slow. In fact, it's
to the southeast. So
correct.
It's got that
Southeast.
more southerly track now. Initially it was just due east. Now the track is a little southeast, and we see that sometimes with supercells where there's more moisture, there's more energy for them to the south, so they'll curve to the right. And you can see that on the motion there. It was kind of in Oliver County, tracking to the east, and then made a little bit of a southerly deviation, now crossing into Morton County. At the bottom of that hook, that's where the tornado would be. It's still a radar-indicated tornado warning, so we don't have confirmation that the tornado is on the ground anymore. It was on the ground from about 7:40 to 7:50 southwest of Hanover in Oliver County. And this tornado could drop back down at any point.
Certainly
That's
could.
the cyclical nature of these supercells.
Oh, we still have some serious concerns out there, Kevin.
Yeah, we certainly do. Again, Emmons County with a tornado warning as there was a funnel cloud reported northwest of Tenvik. Here 7 days ago, it was 101 mile-per-hour wind gusts recorded in that area. Tonight, it's a funnel cloud that was reported, again, just northwest of Linton, Emmons County, including Linton. You do have a tornado warning. We can see some of that velocity signature here where we've got the reds and the greens coming together, and that simply means a tight circulation in the atmosphere. This is the storm that we had earlier that produced that funnel cloud, again, in western Emmons County. There is a warning here for Emmons County until 10:30 Central Daylight Time. I'm going to put a motion on this. And again, not that we do have a tornado or even a funnel cloud right now, but this is going to probably track right toward Linton or just to the north here. Again, should there be a funnel cloud or perhaps even a tornado? Let's hope not, but it is a possibility. Therefore, a tornado warning is in effect. Other thunderstorms to speak of, multiple ones here, including another tornado warning for northeastern Wells County. Not in Harvey, not in Fessenden. A large severe thunderstorm warning here going into Sheridan, again Wells County here, and more thunderstorms. It looks like this one north of Bismarck in Mandan is going to stay north of town the way it looks right now, but there could still be some development back toward possibly the Bismarck area. That remains to be seen, and again, maybe a little bit of a circulation here as well. We can almost make it out here. A little bit of dumbbelling going on here. It's a possibility of some circulation. We've had circulation with this thunderstorm already, and again, this is the second one moving through the area this evening. So Baldwin, remain weather aware. You've got that severe thunderstorm warning, and Sterling as well. All right, pressing weather information to pass along. Vivid lightning, of course, from our Bismarck State College camera. We do have a tornado warning with a confirmed tornado 8 miles north of Bismarck, moving southeast at 10 miles per hour. We're going to cover all the radar because we've also got a tornado in the Linton area. This is a particularly dangerous situation for the Tenvik area here. Take shelter now. Confirmed tornado. Weather spotters have confirmed a rotation making contact with the ground, therefore a tornado. Again, you can see the circulation here not far from Linton in the Tenvik area. Tornado warning until 11 o'clock Central Daylight Time for Emmons County. Now, back as we expand the view, a thunderstorm here on the north side of Bismarck. This as well producing a tornado warning We have a tornado warning for southwestern Burleigh County in south central North Dakota here. As a confirmed tornado was located 8 miles north of Bismarck, moving to the southeast at about 10 miles per hour. And again, we can see some of the rotation here on the north side of Bismarck, perhaps crossing over US 83. This is moving slowly toward the southeast at 10 miles per hour. You can see the red outline. That is the confines of the tornado warning, which does split the city on the north and east side of town. We do have a tornado warning until 11 o'clock. Stay with us here. We're going to regroup in just a few minutes. We'll be back on the air for a complete and total recap.
Center. This is a live severe weather update.
All right, everybody, greetings once again with you, with meteorologist Jacob Morris. I'm meteorologist Kevin Lawrence, tracking tornadoes. They are confirmed, Jacob. We're going to cover this camera here, and again, where we have vivid lightning, cannot detect a tornado now that it's getting dark here, but we're going to talk about the radar here. A couple of different areas of concern, one of which is again in the Bismarck area and also in Linton around Timbick with a tornado that was confirmed, just like this one on the north side of Bismarck. Confirmed tornado here in southwestern Burleigh County until there was a confirmed tornado. This tornado warning goes until 11 o'clock. At 10:25, just about 10 minutes ago, a confirmed tornado was located 8 miles north of Bismarck. It's moving southeast at approximately 10 miles per hour. Put a motion on this. Actually, we can just go to our velocity here for a second, and we can really make out now whether that's it. It could very well be. Let me turn the motion on here. And again, where you see the reds and the greens coming together, that is probably some AP or something like that right there. But we can see the circulation again on the east side of town, pretty evident to us. But again, I don't think this is anything right here. That could be something else. That could be some of the wind turbines or something of that nature, but it's not that. It's more or less to the east. And we zoom out a little bit here.
You're talking about over here with the strong winds. Yeah, this might be just some contamination.
That's what I'm thinking, of some sort here. So again, regardless of that, though, as we put a motion back on this, we can definitely see it. Where the arrow is here, the white arrow, there is definitely a circulation here. Damaging tornado is a possibility along with tennis ball size hail, as weather spotters have confirmed a tornado north of Bismarck. Okay, more on that in a moment, but we've also got a tornado warning in the Timbick area. Emmons County, a tornado warning, and this goes until 11 o'clock. A PDS tornado warning, meaning a particularly dangerous situation because this could be affecting Timbick. Again, Linton, don't let your guard down. The potential is definitely there for a tornado. We can see the circulation here. It's very, very evident. It's almost like it's stationary. Look at that.
Just rotating.
It's rotating about itself there. I mean, right on top or very close to US 83, not far from Linton. And now it's becoming even more dangerous despite being illuminated with lightning. However, it's nightfall now. And I did see a tornado photo from the Cannonball area across the river. So be mindful of that in the Morton County area, Sioux County area as well. Not that there's a tornado there, but we have been getting some tornado images coming from across the river looking toward the east. So once again, Emmons County, tornado warning until 11 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Definite, very tight circulation there. Back to Bismarck, Mandan. The circulation is not quite as tight. However, the radar is too close. So it's very hard to detect in town. Despite that, we can still see some circulation with the radar being pointing up, but quite ominous sky, that's for sure, with this possible circulation here now ending up to the basically going to the east side of Bismarck. Don't know if we have a confirmation of a tornado at this exact moment, but it's something we are keeping a close eye on. I'm going to turn the radar back on here, and again, we can see where some of the higher returns are here for the radar.
And the hail likely staying to the northeast of Bismarck, heading towards Minokan and Sterling, though. You can really see that being pinpointed up to 2-inch.
That's a really strong hail core. That's on the north side here of this particular storm. So still, we do have a very large hail core, in fact, here.
The warning is for tennis ball size hail here in parts of Burleigh County, northeast of Bismarck.
123rd Avenue Northeast, 80th Street Northeast in that particular area. It looks like for sure, again, and let's check out the hail here. Also, just northeast of Linton, perhaps up to 2-inch diameter hail there, probably more like ping pongs, but again, a good possibility of that. All right, Luke, thank you for what you're doing there, working behind the scenes here. Okay, I'll go back here and we'll, obviously, a lot of lightning with this, but I'm going to turn on the motion of the radar. And again, on the backside of the system for the Timbick-Linton area, we do have a tornado warning for Emmons County until 11 o'clock. And again, the higher population area here in the Bismarck Metro, tornado warning also until 11 o'clock here. And that was also a confirmed tornado 8 miles north of Bismarck, moving southeast at 10 miles per hour. Okay, Jacob, if you want to add anything to that, and I'm going to turn the velocity back on.
Seems like the main tornado threat is going to stay to the northeast of downtown Bismarck. As you mentioned here, Kevin, identifying the area of circulation as it moved to the southeast towards the general direction of Menokin. So if you're in the Menokin area, you want to be in your tornado safe place. That would be an interior room away from windows at the lowest level of your house. The velocity data suggesting that there might be that couplet or the winds coming together in different directions to create spin in the lowest layer of the atmosphere right there to the northwest of Menokin. So we're watching that very closely, but also want to keep people in the Bismarck area aware of the situation that you may have received those tornado warning alerts. If you are in this polygon, in the red outlined area, you do want to be in your safe location, just in case that the tornado would track in that direction, since there was confirmation of it on the ground earlier to the north of Bismarck. But the greatest threat for tornado at this point would be to the east of the main metro over towards the Menokin area, kind of on the southern edge of where the highest returns are on radar. We can also identify that with the velocity mode, where winds are moving in different directions, spinning in a counterclockwise rotation right north of Menokin. Now, we're getting a little bit of bad data here. That's what the purples that you see, because we're really, really close to the radar site. But the warning continues until 11 o'clock.
Can we go back to the Bismarck Skywatch?
Yes.
By chance, just so how vivid this lightning is. And again, we hear thunder in the studio as well. Almost non-stop lightning here. It's pretty impressive.
And there's been reports of lightning occurring even where it's not raining, because these thunderstorm clouds are so tall. The anvil, or the top of the clouds, can produce lightning, and that can strike a couple of miles away from where the heaviest rain or hail is. So we got in some video from North Bismarck of earlier. This isn't happening right now, but the tornado was on the ground, it looks like, from this video. This was taken just before the 10:30 time frame.
So during the newscast, we had this taking place.
I believe so.
Right, okay, all right. Yeah, because you can see on the radar, you can see that tight circulation. So this is very impressive. Again, this is that storm that was back in Oliver County again, that moved into northern Burleigh County. Can you tell here whether it's a tornado? It's hard to say, but I would venture to bet that is a tornado. You can see outflow from the where this person is taking this video. Look at the trees moving around. Can't tell how far away this is. Any reports of how far this might have been away?
This was at 10:32. We got the confirmation of the time. So that was the situation when the rotation within the storm was a little tighter. Then it weakened a little bit as it went just northeast of Bismarck. But rotation could tighten back up. Tornado could drop down once again around the Menokin area. That's why that tornado warning was extended into parts of southeastern Burleigh County. So certainly areas around Menokin and Sterling, that you're in that tornado warning. This one is now observed again. So this tornado warning for Menokin and Sterling down to Long Lake, if it tracks in that direction, confirmed tornado near Menokin. Tennis ball size hail also possible with this storm.
Yeah, I'm really concerned about the Menokin area here. Get to your safe shelter now, because this again, could very well be a dangerous situation. We got a confirmed tornado again. So
on the ground
we
near
don't wanna mess
Minokin
around.
right now.
Yeah, and look at that circulation. I'm going to go back here and turn it back on. Right on top of Minokin right now, within the past minute or two. So if you're in Minokin, get to your safe shelter, get to your safe place right now.
Interior
Don't
room,
venture out.
away from windows.
Away from windows. Basement would be ideal. Storm cellar, but I know we don't have too many of those. But just make sure there's as many walls between you and the outside as possible. It just takes one tree to kill somebody.
So
or
weather spotters,
anything flying in the air.
weather spotters confirmed this tornado at 10:47, so just 5 minutes ago. It was reported crossing Interstate 94 near Minokin. Power flashes were also reported in the area. So that's a confirmation that the tornado is on the ground, went over some power lines, power poles, and toppled those to create the power flashes. So certainly critical situation happening around the Minokin area because of at least some damage to power infrastructure for power flashes to happen. But confirmed tornado, again at 10:47, this was reported by weather spotters to be crossing Interstate 94 near Minokin. And that's going to continue to track to the southeast at 20 miles per hour.
And you can really make out the general area of where this would be here just by looking at the velocity scan. And again, down in Emmons County, the same situation. We got a pretty tight circulation going on here, not far from Linton. Again, right on top of 83, maybe a little bit east of 83 now. So again, just if you're in the Linton area, seek shelter. If you're in the Minokin area, seek shelter because these are confirmed tornadoes at one time. The one that is confirmed right now is the Burleigh County one. So keep that in mind here because, again, that is a residential area and a lot of people live there. So hopefully everything is okay at the moment in Minokin, but we're giving you a heads up just to know there's a tornado warning here and don't venture out. Please don't venture out for the sake of video or photos. It's dark out there now. A lot of lightning out there that's illuminating the sky. But again, that is dangerous in and of itself. Look at that circulation. It's really evident here. I mean, east of Linton, and now maybe not as intense as it was, but you can really make that out. Almost, actually two of them. Look at that. You got one maybe move a little bit toward the left there. So it's a possibility.
Earlier we had a storm that split in two.
Yeah, right. So that might be two circulations going on there.
I wanted to mention though, in southern Kidder County, we just got a report of a confirmed tornado there. So at 11:11, a confirmed tornado was located 9 miles south of Steele, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. So the warning is for that tornado that is confirmed and 2-inch hail. We also got a report of a tornado southeast, 8 miles southeast of Driscoll. But these tornado warnings...
Right here, you can kind of just make it out. Look, you can just see where that circulation is.
Wow. Pinpointing it based on these reports and then looking at the velocity mode here inside the storm. Incredible.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing.
The rotation looked to be a little more broad in the last couple of radar scans,
Kinda
so
like
the tornado might have been brief.
Yeah, I mean, these tornadoes might be literally 30 seconds. I mean, the circulation might be greater a lot, but they might briefly touch down, make contact, and go quickly back into the cloud. That's hard to say. I mean, just because we see circulation like this does not mean there's a tornado. A lot of this is aloft. It's above the ground, right? But, I mean, there's still, as long as there is a circulation, it is a cyclonic rotation indicative here, anyway, that we continue with the threat for tornadoes.
And we got another confirmation of a tornado. This was confirmed at 11:13. A confirmed tornado was located 6 miles southeast of Minokin. Moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. So this would be with this rotation that we see, or at least the brighter green colors. There's some of this purple color is the contamination from the radar because we're so close to the radar site. There's kind of a sweet spot with radar in terms of distance to get the best data in order to determine where rotation is. But if we're talking that this weather spotter confirmed the tornado 6 miles southeast of Minokin, that would be right around that area. and that would be moving to the southeast at 20 miles per hour.
And that was 11:11, is that correct?
That is 11:13.
11:13, okay.
So about 7 minutes
Okay.
ago. And we can play this back. I'm going to just kind of scrub back on the timeline. You can see how it might have briefly
where it's really
tightened
tight.
up right there.
The dark, or
I don't know what's doing
the greens, the bright greens and the really the bright reds together like that is where there's a really tight circulation and the highest probability when it's really tight like that of a tornado.
And that's that couplet that we've been talking about with a few of these other storms. Now, again, possibly getting into a little bit of that contamination from the proximity to the radar site, but still, this tornado warning now has the confirmed tag on it in terms of elevating it in terms of severity. So certainly you still want to be in your safe spot in Long Lake, as this could be heading somewhat in your direction. Kind of hard to tell or pinpoint exactly where that rotation is now, but if you're in the tornado polygon, you want to be seeking shelter, no matter what. Just
Burley
as
County, Kidder County, Emmons County. Yeah.
Just as a safety measure.
Absolutely.
Now, all of the warnings are east of Bismarck, so just wanted to mention that for now, and probably through the rest of the night, Capital City looking okay.
And I will say that this event is going on longer than I expected with respect to tornadoes. I really thought that we would see more of a straight line wind.
That all the
threats,
storms would cluster together. They would form into a line, but they're staying individual, and that's why they can continue to produce tornadoes.
They're still discrete, and that's the thing. Again, some of the hail reports here, again, as mentioned earlier, we've got baseball-size hail from the Crown Butte Lake area in McHenry County, tennis ball-size hail Hanover, south of Douglas, golf ball-size hail south of Max. Many, many reports of the tornadoes, of course, here, as seen here from south of the BNI Coal in...
that was in southern Oliver County, northern Morton County.
Yep, this one here again, 5 miles southwest of Hanover. This particular image here was from south of Hanover as well. And again, a lot of photos received. We probably have received about 200 more photos and videos just since we've been on the air covering this here nonstop for over the past hour now. And I just want to say we appreciate every single photo and video, and we appreciate all the reports. It's a collaborative effort, and we simply could not do what we do if we didn't have viewers like you keeping us informed of what's going on. Jacob, thank you so much for your work tonight. We're not done monitoring the activity. We'll just take a break here from being on the air, and we'll come back on if necessary. Otherwise, we'll be on social media and keeping you weather aware in that way. And make sure you have our First Warn weather app and, as well. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your night and a great weekend. Thank you so much for staying with us.
You've been watching a live special report on NBC North Dakota News, your news leader.
Last night, Bismarck saw its first tornado in years. Ariana Gonzalez spoke with those that watched it touch down.
It looked like a smaller funnel, kind of just, it was almost going sideways at first as it was coming down.
Bismarck residents, like Joshua Lawyer, could see the supercell thunderstorm forming outside of their homes. What they didn't know was that the cell would eventually turn into a tornado that would touch down in a field just behind Fleet Farm.
That house over there, and it was massive.
He and his family watched the twister form in minutes near 57th Avenue.
We kind of joked about it at first in true North Dakotan fashion with our weather. We were like, well, that's a little late. And but then we heard the sirens, and we came outside, and our neighbor was standing at her door watching, and I was like, do you see anything? And she's like, oh yeah, and we looked, and there it was.
The last time an actual tornado landed surrounding the Bismarck area was in the early 2000s.
It was crazy, and to witness nature's power so directly was just fascinating to see. The way the clouds moved with the swirling, the electricity just constant within the sky, and then just to actually see a tornado move around and just witness how fast they move. I think that was the biggest thing for us, just how fast it was.
Lawyer says he and his family chose to flee to his parents' home in the south of town. In Bismarck, I'm Ariana Gonzalez, reporting for your news leader.